13 WMAZ Morning starts now.
Well, if anybody's down at the Georgia National Fairgrounds and can see the clock tower, let me know. Actually, there it is. It's foggy this morning. Yep, we've got it across parts of central Georgia, dense at spots. I couldn't see the clock tower just a moment ago. We'll show you where it is and what to expect for the day ahead coming up.
More answers coming in the death of a teen in Fort Valley, the third person now facing a charge in connection to it.
And a judge makes a decision on Governor Brian Kemp's testimony in a 2020 election probe when the state's top leader must testify.
Good Tuesday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look at the fairgrounds in beautiful Houston County. You can see that it's a very foggy start to the day. The time is now 6:30 a.m. on this August the 30th. I'm Wanye Reese.
And I'm Caitlin Heck, and it's not just in Perry. We've seen it in Dublin and several other spots too, Alex.
Yes, and then you take a look at Macon, and we're not necessarily seeing it here in Bibb County, so it's sporadic across central Georgia. Like I was just saying, there's the Georgia National Fairgrounds. You can just ever so faintly see the clock tower there. Usually you can see it clear as day, and just a few minutes ago I couldn't even see it at all. And now you can't see it because the temperatures are covering it. 77 in Dublin, 75 in Wrightsville, 76 in Gordon, 74 out towards Roberta and in Butler this morning. In Butler, some of the densest fog right now, visibility down below a quarter mile. Also into southern Peach County, over towards Macon County, Houston County, where we were just looking there close to Perry, on over towards Dublin as well. But you take a look at Warner Robins, 10 miles of visibility, Macon, 9 miles of visibility. So again, it's not foggy necessarily everywhere this morning. Now, it's something I'm interested to know. This very well could not be rainfall, but if it is, hop on my Facebook page and let me know. Here in Macon County, over towards Montezuma, over towards northern parts of Dooley County and southern Houston County. I'm very curious to know if that's actually reaching the ground. Today, look for a high temperature right around 92, a 30% chance of rain. Feels like the upper 90s at times. Yes, it's going to be a hot afternoon. There's your hour-by-hour forecast. Coming up, we'll talk about potentially some lower humidity on the way. Those details are just a few minutes away.
Thank you, Alex. This is not the way we want to start your morning. We now know the name of the woman killed in a stabbing inside of a Macon home. Bibb Coroner Leon Jones says the 27-year-old victim is Brittany Wright.
Well, the stabbing happened on the 1200 block of Cortland Avenue last night. The Bibb Sheriff's Office says deputies were responding to an unrelated call on Cortland when a homeowner flagged them down. Deputies went into a home and found Wright dead. Deputy Coroner Lonnie Miley says someone had stabbed her to death.
So based on the numbers we've been tracking, this puts Bibb County's homicide numbers for this year at 47. That's around 10 more than this time last year. Miley thinks at the pace the county's going, Bibb's homicide numbers will exceed the record set last year.
A miracle happens and we have no more homicides this year, but I don't hold out that hope. And like I said, just a reflection of what is going on in our society, and it's not a good reflection.
The Sheriff's Office says deputies took a person of interest in for questioning on the case.
Now, if you have any information on the stabbing, you should call the Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number, it's 1-877-68-CRIME. That number one more time for you. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. It's 1-877-68-CRIME. It's 6:33 here on your Tuesday morning. Right now, a third person faces an aggravated assault charge in connection to the death of a 16-year-old in Fort Valley. The city's police department says the Peach County Sheriff's Office arrested DeQuavius Oliver yesterday. He's the last of 3 suspects wanted for aggravated assault, which possibly resulted in the death of a Perry teen. His name is Justin Woodford. On August the 20th, someone shot and killed Woodford. Police believe the 3 men assaulted the 16-year-old before the shooting happened.
Well, an up to $1,000 reward could be yours as Rose Hill Cemetery looks for answers in a vandalism case. They want your help finding who broke through and damaged a gate at the historic cemetery over the weekend. Rose Hill is on the National Register of Historic Places and dates back to 1840. They do have video right here on your screen of the person and card that they're looking for after the weekend break-in. Joey Fernandez, who works with the cemetery, says they're taking steps to crack down on vandals and trespassers at the site.
The solution is secure the main gates, lock the gates, and put up cameras to positively identify people. You can't do it with trail cams. You can't do it with cellular cams. It has to be the top, the best camera system that's out there, and we purchased that.
Fernandez says the cemetery hopes to have that new camera system running within the next few months. If you have any information on the weekend break-in, you can call the Bibb Sheriff's Office.
Let's get you to your state news now. A Georgia man will spend the rest of his life in prison for murdering a 7-year-old girl in Buckhead back in 2020. A judge sentenced Daquan Reed to life without parole plus 15 years. It comes after a jury found Reed guilty on all charges in the shooting death of Kennedy Maxey. You see her there in Buckhead. Atlanta police said Reed got into an argument with someone in December of 2020 in the Phipps Plaza Mall parking lot. That's when he left and fired his gun out of his car window. One of those bullets hit Maxie in the head as she rode in the car with her aunt and mother. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis announced an indictment targeting members of what she calls a violent street gang, a gang that allegedly targeted the homes of athletes, entertainers, and others. The indictment says an Atlanta United player, Marlo Hampton of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and other victims all had their Atlanta area homes broken into. The indictment charges 26 people, most accused of violating Georgia's RICO laws. DA Willis says members of the drug-rich gang committed the crimes alleged in the indictment.
Well, Georgia's top leader must now testify in the Fulton County Special Grand Jury election investigation. That's a ruling coming from a judge yesterday. But the judge agreed to a request from Governor Brian Kemp's lawyers to delay that testimony until after the November 8th election. The grand jury is looking into whether former President Donald Trump and others illegally interfered in the 2020 election in Georgia. Prosecutors have said they want to ask the governor about Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's calls with Trump, as well as his own contacts with Trump and others in the wake of the 2020 election. Speaking of the November election, voters head to the polls in exactly 10 weeks. People in Houston County are getting ready to choose someone new to represent the District 147 seat in the Georgia House. Current Representative Heath Clark is not running again. Ariel Phillips and Bethany Ballard hope to fill his seat. Phillips is a disabled veteran, small business owner, and a student. Ballard is married to a reservist, a retired teacher, and worked for Clark. We asked about their most pressing campaign issues, their qualifications, and why they're running.
I think that I am the person that is going to do the most to support the people, and I'm not interested in power. I'm interested in power for the people and making sure that people feel heard and that they feel accepted and that they know where they need to go to get the resources that they need just to be successful in life.
I think because of my background in politics, especially in the grassroots area and the legislative area, I am ready to lead on day one. I'm ready to listen to the voters of Houston County, and I always want to do the right thing for the citizens of Houston County.
The general midterm elections happen November 8th. The deadline to register to vote is October 11th.
6:37 now here on your Tuesday morning. Agriculture will be in full focus today at the Georgia National Fairgrounds in Perry. State Senator Larry Walker will co-host a joint ag issues summit there. The Georgia Senate press office says it features updates on agriculture-related legislative issues from Senator Walker and Representative Robert Dickey. Other speakers will talk about an update from the Georgia Department of Agriculture, the economic outlook for farmers in the state, and water system funding. The summit's happening in the Miller Murphy Howard building at the fairgrounds. It goes from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. The time is now 6:38 a.m. here on your Tuesday morning. I'm sure they are going to have a lot to talk about, and they probably want to have meteorologist Alex Forbes come to visit them to see what this weather is going to be doing in the future when it comes down to their crops.
I know. Thankfully, they have got a lot of rain over the past month.
I was about to say, we're up over 4 inches on the year, 2 inches on the month. So I'd walk in the room and they'd be like, make it stop. Like, that's good. Like, we got it. And then in a few months from now, it'll be, they'll flip the page and be like, okay, we could use some more again because, typically in the fall, our rain begins to trail off because we get more of these fronts rolling through as opposed to the pop-up showers and storms. And with that, you get less rainfall. But speaking of Perry, it's a foggy start down there this morning. You can see the clock tower there off in the distance. Yeah, a lot of fog down there. Currently, it is 74 there, a dew point of 73, a calm wind, especially when you get the winds calm, you get favorable conditions for some fog. 76 in Macon and in Warner Robins, 75 Unadilla, 77 in Dublin right now, and 75 waking up in Johnson County. The visibility map's got a lot of color on it this morning. You can see over in Taylor County, on over towards Peach County, Houston County, where we were just looking there in Perry. Some low visibility there, but that's not everywhere. We've got perfect conditions in Warner Robins right now, close to perfect in Macon, about 5 miles of visibility in Monticello and 10 miles of visibility in Cordial this morning. Now the radar picture was mostly quiet through the morning hours, but I'm still curious to know if it's actually raining in southern Houston County and Macon County. Hop on social media, let me know, because I'm not entirely sold that this isn't just picking up on fog. So if you're seeing it, especially in the Henderson area over towards Unadilla, Montezuma, let me know if it's actually raining there, because if it is, might need to update the forecast just a little bit. There we go. The front up towards the north, Kentucky, Tennessee, that's going to be sliding down to the south and east through the day today. And that's going to bring us hopefully some lower humidity by the time we get to Thursday here in the Peach State. But first, we got to get through the next few days. And today's going to be a hot day at that. Notice Future View is picking up on a few showers here through the morning hours on into the afternoon. And then here comes the front through the later afternoon hours through the metro Atlanta area. And it's not really holding together the showers and storms, maybe one or two through the overnight hours. But the front itself slides through during the overnight hours. Temperatures in the 70s. I don't think we feel the full effects from the front tomorrow. Notice high temperatures still in the 90s. And generally speaking, this is going to be a weak front, so that is to be expected. But I really think on Thursdays when we feel the drier air here in central Georgia, and that's if the drier air can make it all the way through. It's entirely possible that it stops at like Interstate 20 or say Henry County or say Monroe County has drier air, but then down towards Eastman you don't. So we're still trying to map out the timing on that. But as things stand now, most of our models are bringing the drier air all the way through central Georgia. Just don't put it in stone just yet. 92 today, 93 on Wednesday, 91 for Thursday. Here's what I'm talking about in terms of the dip in the humidity. Very muggy today and tomorrow, but then closer to the comfortable range on Thursday while it is still going to be hot outside. Check of the tropics this morning. We are watching this area of disturbed weather here in the central Atlantic. It has an 80% chance of development in the next 5 days and another wave rolling off the African coast with a 40% chance of development in the next 5 days. But this one is closer to the United States, and the good news is it does look like it's going to miss the Bahamas by several hundred miles, and you can see the models beginning to turn it out to sea there. So some good news there on that front. Today, look for a high temperature right around 92, 30% chance of rain, going to feel like the upper 90s at times today. There's your hour-by-hour forecast, feeling like 96 by the 1 p.m. hour, and then into the upper 90s by the time we get later on into the afternoon. 93 going to be the high temperature tomorrow, 91 on Thursday, hopefully with that lower humidity there for the first day of September, and then back down into the middle 80s once we get into Labor Day weekend. 85 on Saturday, 86 on Sunday with a 40% chance of rain, and 87 on Labor Day itself.